really, really not walking the prodigal son life. Because you know what? Ultimately, the prodigal son life leads to death in a lot of ways. Because if you're reading it, it says, he once was dead. The father said, he once was dead. But now he's alive. He's come back to me. But here's the other part of the story. The other son, what's the other son saying? But Dad, I was always here. I have helped you through everything. Why are you doing all this for him? He's an idiot. Right? Isn't that what it's saying? He's an idiot. He walked away. You gave him all the money. He spent it all on wine, women, and booze. And look at him. He's out there and he's done all this and all the money's gone. Because the dad understood one thing that only dads can understand. What is that? He understood the fact that the son might not come back if he gives him all the money. The father understood the thing that only parents get. That if I send my son or my daughter out into this world and I don't share the truth with them and I don't raise them up as a child should go and I don't instill the right values in their heads, they could die. So I've thought about this and thought about this and thought about this. And the prodigal son theory, we all raised our hands and we said we were there. But I want you to think what your Father in heaven thinks. What does your Father in heaven think? Because that's your ultimate dad. What's your Father in heaven think when you're walking away and He sees it? He sees everything you're doing, but yet you continue to walk away. What's He say? Just like the prodigal son. This is the coolest part of the story. I'm right here. I'm right here. I love you, son. Doesn't matter what you've done. I didn't know how I was going to tie this together, but here we go. I'm right here as he's walking towards you. I think of little Joshua and the things that he goes through. And I think about no matter what that little kid would go through, I would grab him up and I would say, you know what, it's okay. You're going to be okay. And he would throw his little arms around me. And I think that's what Jesus Christ does ultimately. He says, it's all right. You made a mistake. I love you no matter what. You know, I think about the commercial where the boyfriend and the girlfriend hadn't seen each other for a long period of time. They're running down the beach at each other. You know, it's always in slow motion. And I know this is a terrible thing here, but go with me on this, all right? Running down the beach, they're running at one another. And they got their arms out and they can't wait to get down one another. And they throw their arms, which I know this is wild, but here we go. Okay? Throw their arms around one another and they hug and they embrace. It seems like forever in the commercial. You all with me? But that's what Jesus does. No matter what you've done, He's saying, I'm right here. Come on, son. Come on. You've made mistakes. You've done things that are wrong, but I'm right here. I'm right here. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. I want to encourage you tonight. And I want to tell you that God loves you. And you know what? I'm finding out over the last couple of months how much God really loves me. He loves me through my problems, through my circumstance. He loves me through every aspect and every mistake I make. And it's a love that I'll never understand until I'm standing in front of Him. But I'm understanding it more because I'm living it. And I desire more of it. See, when you're in the prodigal son, when you're living that life, that's fun. That's fun. There's none of us that are in this room that has ever gotten high. You can't say that it wasn't fun. I had a pastor tell me one time, that's not fun. Bull crap. Second part of what I'm going to say is, this is funner. What I'm doing today is a lot funner. Because guess what? I don't have to worry about getting up the next morning with a hangover. I have the high of knowing that my dad, my father, is going to hold me and not hold me accountable for what I've done. He's going to hold me and not hold me accountable. He loves me no matter what. And He embraces me through everything. The closer you walk to God and the less sin that you desire in your life, the closer you get to God. Does that make any sense? The more you desire Jesus Christ, the less you live a prodigal son life. The more you desire God, the less you have to worry about what you're doing, because it seems to get less and less and less. There's less sin and more of God. Less sin and more of God. There's less sin and more of God. Because you get it. I've been saying for the last 3 weeks, love is what God has for His children. And love is what He has for me. And love is what He wants to show you guys. Just continue to picture in your mind the Son running up to the Father. The Son running into the Father's arms and Him embracing His kid. It's incredible. It's incredible. And when you have kids, and they become 16 and 17 years old, you still desire that hug. And that's what Jesus desires out of us. He wants to hug us and hold us and love us. Because there's nothing like a hug from your dad. There's nothing like that hug. I haven't cried up here in a long time, but I'm honestly telling you guys tonight, there's so much in God, and there's so much He wants to show you. And there's so much more than I can ever describe to you in Christianity, in God. There's so much more in Jesus Christ. And He is such an awesome God. He's incredible. You gotta want Him. You gotta want Him.